Alright, everyone, and with that, we now have Pokemon Puzzle Challenge by Razorflamekun. Take it away.
Hello everyone, this is Razorflamekun, and today I'm going to be playing Challenge Mode, Easy to Intense, which is all the difficulties, and I have two commentators with me from the Pokemon Puzzle, the League of Puzzle Speedrunners, I think it is?
A League of Puzzle Speedrunners.
Yeah.
Update.
Yeah, so go ahead and introduce yourselves really quick.
Hi, I'm Nicole. Or I go by like Be Smart. But... 10 out of 10 stars. Alright.
And my other commentator is Lunar Chimera.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and get started, so in 3, 2, 1, go.
Be there, Lunar?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Alright. Well, welcome to Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. This is a match 3 game, similar to what you might have seen in Tetris Attack or Pokemon Puzzle League or similar panel to pond kind of games. The idea is you want to match at least 3 at the same time. And also, if you connect those, then you're going to get chains. And kind of the idea behind Pokemon Puzzle Challenge and what makes it a little bit different is that we have a health bar with each opponent. And in these early stages, that's going to go real quick. And as we go on, it's going to not go so quick.
Yeah, it ramps up a lot over time.
Yeah, and so what you're seeing Razor do here, if you're not as familiar with these types of games, is just, especially in these early stages, is just trying to get as many combos as possible, chaining a little bit, but mainly combos. And if Lunar, we can maybe go into more health stuff later, but kind of, you know the nuances of the health system a little better than I do.
Right, so each length of chain and size of your combo gives you a different amount of damage, and so you're just trying to get the right amount of damage as quickly as you can.
By the way, I've already gotten one rainbow split.
Nice. Well done.
So like Nicole said, easy goes pretty quick. All of the enemies, you can usually finish them with a short chain and a couple combos in it. Looks like Razor's just mainly going for the combos though, which is completely viable as well.
And what you saw there was what we call a lag chain. So sometimes what you can do is you can, as one set of blocks are dropping, you can set something up else really quick. And it's a good way to kind of build your chains and optimize your time, especially early game. And, if you're not going to do strictly the combo strategy, it's used a lot more in, I'm more familiar with, Pokemon Puzzle League. It's used a lot more in that to try to get things done faster. But anytime you can be building more chains or combos as fast as you can, then that's kind of what you want to do. But it's a little bit harder to see, especially because with it's a smaller board than a lot of the other games maybe you're used to seeing that aren't necessarily like if you're seeing like a Tetris Attack or a Pokemon Puzzle League. It's a smaller board to work with, which isn't bad now, but it certainly is a little bit more challenging as we get into things.
Well, 1 sec.
What happened?
I need to fix my...
Do we need to reset the timer?
Yeah, go ahead and reset the timer.
Oh, what happened?
I had a internet hiccup.
Oh, I didn't notice anything on stream, so...
Well, my internet dropped for like 5 seconds.
Well, you could probably keep going, yeah?
We can reset if that's what Razor wants to
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
We're currently just having some minor technical difficulties with our remoting stuff. Would you give me a moment?
Yeah, sure, no, that's fine.
Oh, that's why I couldn't do that. Okay. Okay, we're good. So.
yeah, one moment. Apologies. There seems to be an issue with the software that I'm using to control the stream PC.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly have to restart the connection. Apologies for that.
Yeah, my internet died for 5 seconds, and then my splits wouldn't cooperate.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Alright, we're good to go again. Apologies for that.
Yep. So we just go?
Yep, just give me a count.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
And that's where we like being ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I wonder what was
Absolutely.
going on.
Yeah. I was like, Razor, you okay, bro? I could, yeah. That makes more sense. Anytime you see an experienced speedrunner, something's got to be happening. So,
Nice to
but
meet
we're
you.
all good. We're all good. Is there a reason you're picking Cyndaquil? Is there a special reason, or you just
Nope.
like Cyndaquil?
I like Cyndaquil.
All right, right on.
That's
In these,
fair.
That should actually kill.
yeah, in these games, contrary to maybe common knowledge, type advantage doesn't matter. So really, you can just pick whoever you want. It's like that in Pokemon Puzzle League too. Sometimes people ask, "Is type advantage actually?" No, dude. You just pick Pikachu because it's the quickest. So
Chikorita.
yeah,
Well,
or in this case,
yeah,
Chikorita. Yeah.
Yeah, in Easy there are 8 stages.
Alright, we haven't even gotten into that. So yeah, easy is 8 stages, and then let's double check here. Yeah, it's 12 stages for normal and 13 for the rest.
Yep, I was about to say that. It's yes, 12 then 13 then 13.
I've just been playing too much Pokemon Puzzle League lately, so I'm just completely out of what ones are which.
Yeah, this game is a lot shorter than PPL.
Yeah, we actually just got done with a Pokemon Puzzle League tournament in our community, the League of Puzzle Speedrunners, and that's our Discord. If you want to go hang out with us there, we talk about these kinds of games and a lot of other things as well. It's a cool place to hang out, and that's where I met Razor, so that's how I ended up hearing us. I've also been awake for an hour, so I don't even know what I'm saying, so it's 10 out of 10. But yeah, this game runs a lot quicker than some of the other games, but just because there's less stages doesn't mean it's any less challenging, especially once we get to S hard and intense.
Yeah. It actually is a much faster paced game overall. Ooh, nice 10. And that wasn't enough. Like, getting a 10 and that not being enough is kind of strange, but oh well.
Yeah. Razor, I know a decent amount about this game, but Razor sent me, and Lunar sent me a damage number counter. So they have like a really good, like how much do specific combos and chains do for damaging, and how much health values the different computers have. So if you're a numbers nerd, this is incredibly fascinating to kind of look into and see, as we'll get into later. But these early stages aren't too bad in regards to what you need to do in order to get these health bars down. But the spike really starts to happen as we get to S hard and intense, where then you're gonna see a lot of optimization of chains, more than just this kind of combo spam at the beginning. And we can get into that a little bit more once we get there. But in most of these types of panel to pawn games, when you get into congrats on finishing easy, yay! But when you get into these harder difficulties, it's similar mechanic, but then also being able to optimize those mechanics in a way that really kind of separates kind of the mid-tier players from the best players. So, which is it doesn't matter which panel to pawn game it is. It's just so fascinating to see. I've been speedrunning these games since 2013, and I still love seeing all the optimizations that are happening.
Thanks for the congrats. We were 3 seconds ahead of my PB at that juncture.
Nice.
Right. Okay. So one thing that we haven't talked about in this one yet is that the health bar also comes with a healing ability, and on normal's the first time they'll start using it, but we probably won't see it much because we're going fast. We will start seeing it a lot more though on very hard and a lot in intense. We're trying to avoid seeing it in intense though. So when we get there, it'll become a lot more obvious.
Yep. I'm able to notice when an opponent heals out of my peripheral vision because I see the bar go up while I'm playing.
Right, you'll see the health bar heal. Another way to notice is they actually won't attack for a short time before they heal, right before they heal. So if you watch for that pause, you know it's coming.
So now you're starting to notice that we're needing longer chains in normal because they have quite a bit more health on this difficulty.
Yeah, and it's always kind of this is my first time seeing the numbers, so I'm kind of doing a mini analysis here, but it's very much like a slow ramp up in the early stages, and then once you get to the later stages, or what final four kind of the final four opponents, like in the traditional Pokemon games where you're facing this final four gauntlet, there's a really hard spike that ends up happening. And it, so you're really, when you're playing the game casually, it does feel like at a certain point, there's just this spike of difficulty you're not expecting. But when I'm looking at these numbers, it's like very obvious. And when we get to, because in the games, that's the hard stages. So thereby, it's, it's very much just like, the fairy game, and they threw some Pokemon on it, and then that means we get later on in GDQs because it's Pokemon. Like, it's pretty much how it works, so...
Right, and something you won't see it, but something in the numbers that's really interesting, and we were talking about this the other day, was, so the last stage of normal is actually just as much health as the 3 of the last 4 stages on hard, which we're pretty sure it was an oversight on the numbers when they were putting the game code together. Because it doesn't make sense that it wouldn't get harder.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's really fascinating. Oh, that's cool.
Not sure what happened for sure, but we noticed it the other day and we're all like, yeah, that feels like somebody missed something.
You guys might want to go over stop time and the power meter now.
Sure. So, there is a mechanic called stop time, and the way that works is as you build your chains and combos, you end up building up kind of an... Sorry, like I said, I just woke up. But, so you build up the ability to not have the stack raise. And so, normally, just if you're playing casually, like, your stack will gradually raise and have, like, a speed level, and it just kind of goes up and up. But if you get chains and combos, it stops for a temporary amount of time, and the idea is that way you have more room to be able to kind of save yourself. There is a panel attack game that they do like versus mode tournaments on, and like in that one, that's really cool because they actually have like bars and stuff to be able to determine like how much stop time you have, so you can physically see it. And if you're not playing that, you kind of just have to picture it in your head. And I know for me with stop time, there's literally like a sense of how much I have left in my body, which is really weird. Like when I play at GDQs and stuff, like where you can see me tense up if I'm losing stop time. Yeah, it's a cool mechanic to kind of help you out and give you a little bit more time to process what's going on. And it's not as big of a deal in these earlier stages, but certainly as you get later, when you get into spots where you need to kind of put the speed on and find your clears, it's certainly helpful there.
Right, and the main difference between this game and most of the games is most of the games you're trying to just beat the CPU. You're both playing on the boards, and you both have stop time to deal with. So you have to try and optimize beating them by finding times when their stop time is low. But in this one, you only have to worry about your stop time, because you just need to make sure that you don't top out your board. Because everything else is based on that health bar.
Right.
I was just about to say, before that stage, I was in PB range.
Yeah, and these get a little bit variable as you get to the harder difficulties. You know, sometimes you just get boards that are just really... I don't know if it happens as much in this game, but there are sometimes where you just get starting boards that are really twisted. I don't know how else to describe it, but where it's really hard to kind of pull apart the colors that you want to do, and like it's really easy to make like accidental clears as you're trying to go through. So that's kind of one of those things you need to watch for as you kind of get better, is your timing. You're trying to get these chains and combos, but you're trying to not get them earlier than you want them. So it's very much like a control game of, I want this, I need to get it now, I need to make sure I'm moving the block so that way I don't get it any earlier than I want to. And it's kind of an art form that just, at least for me personally, just constantly draws me back to try to figure out how to optimize all that.
Yeah, so these stages are going to start requiring... most of the first stages require a 9 chain to kill in one shot. Later on, you need to go like a 13 or 14 chain with some combos.
Yeah, and particularly with the health bar, the more combos you're weaving into your chains, the better, because there's certain health values with the combos, which are obviously going to be less than chains, but anything you can do to try to build that, build those health values up from your side to be able to send to the health bar. And like we said, it gets harder later on when they start to regenerate their own health, and then that takes out a chunk of what you need to do and what you need to do more. So...
and then probably should explain the power meter now.
Winner, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to remember exactly how that one works in this game. Does that have to deal with healing? Or is that what they're attacking?
It's when they're attacking. It's when they're able to attack.
Okay, I just need to make sure which one that was in this game. So yeah, it's a meter that fills up, and when it fills up, then they attack. Each of them has a different speed, different characteristics, and so you see the different attack patterns. They're also programmed to only go so high on their attacks, depending on the difficulty and which Pokemon it is. Similarly, their health, their healing works in a similar manner. As a bar, it fills up, and they heal differently depending on which Pokemon it is. Some of them heal more often, Some of them only do it occasionally. Again, that depends on the difficulty as well.
Yeah, so I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just about to say I'm not getting the ideal what I'm looking for. Oh, that'll kill. Yeah, but yeah. The power meter in this game is hidden.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask.
And the smaller the power meter, the more often you'll see them attack. And there's one Pokemon called Primeape that will attack within a couple seconds of the stage starting.
I think one of the cool things about these games is we have these numbers and we have this sense of playing it over and over again. You know, Razor's put in, we were just looking at the stats before we got on stream, and Razor's put in, you know, lots and lots and lots and lots of hours in. But from a casual perspective, if you're just picking it up and you don't know all this extra information, you kind of know that things are happening, but you don't know why. And like that mystery and sometimes inherent frustration that sometimes players have when you kind of crack the code a little bit or start to figure out the optimal strategies, I personally think it's really satisfying to finally be like, oh, that's why that's doing this and that's why this is happening. So
in terms of where we are, I'm a minute 20 ahead of my PB.
Very nice.
Yeah, in these games with splits, it's probably a little bit more consistent for Puzzle Challenge, but certain categories of these Panel to Pond games, splits are kind of arbitrary at some point. So it's excellent to have them so you get a sense of if you're trying to grind for PB, like kind of what general times you need on each stage. But sometimes it's you lose a minute and then you gain a minute and then you lose 5 minutes and then you're just sad.
Yeah, there's a lot less variance in this game than with PPL or many of the other games.
Right, and that goes with what I said earlier. With you're not trying to top out your opponent, you're just trying to get that health bar, and so it's a little bit easier to keep track of just doing that as opposed to having to deal with the AI's RNG.
Yeah, it's very much, it's a lot more on you to be able to do well. It's kind of, if there's any Teamfight Tactic fans in the audience, it's very much like Teamfight Tactics where it's a lot more on you to build your stuff. And, you know, in League, it's a lot more like, well, other people can mess up. But in Teamfight Tactics, if you're losing, it's because you're not building your board well. So
there's another heal.
Wow.
It's very rare for these opponents to heal twice in the same match. Like, very rare. That should kill? Yes.
As I say, if it does, it's going to be real close.
Yeah, the way healing works is they once you get below, I believe it's a third of their health,
yeah,
they can heal up to a certain amount, and that amounts to depending upon where you are in the game. One thing I want to mention, welcome to the worst sound in video game history.
Yeah, Jig's cries are a little sus.
It's only bad on Intense. It's not as bad on the other ones.
Oh yeah. I'm just warning.
Fair point.
I'm just warning you guys about it.
But yeah, I was gonna say, but you get your preview, so.
Yeah, so right now I'm 7 minutes in with only 10, 11, 12, 4 fights left. My PB is a 931, so there's a chance I could PB this. But I'm not expecting one. Actually, no, it's lower than that. It's 913 now. Perfect.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. And that right there is kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier with trying to optimize the chains, because you still want to weave combos in there, but at some point you want to draw the chain out because that's going to be much more effective. So you saw he was getting a lot of 3 clears instead of maybe these like 6, 4 combos, 6 combos, and you just. It's more important to make the chain bigger than to add all those combos on top of it. Though you still want to do it if you can, but extending what you need for blocks is a little bit more important in these later stages. So it's kind of cool to see the strategy shift a little bit.
I think there's a point where it actually is better to include more combos. I don't remember where it is, though, because I know damage falls off in chains. And the biggest chain you want to get ever is a 20. Once you get bigger than that, you get no benefit out of it.
I thought it was actually 14 that was the case.
I think it starts falling off at around 14, but at 20 to 21, you get no additional damage.
Yeah.
This is
so I can look at it.
Sorry, this is the one. This is the Pokemon you want to look out for in Intense, by the way. One of them.
Murkrow will heal whenever it wants.
Well, I was gonna say Murkrow has the shortest power meter in the game.
That too. It does what it wants.
1 stage left, and we're not gonna get a PB.
Yes, Murkrow does what it wants, perpetuating the myth that birds are jerks in speedruns.
Yeah. And Dragonite is a mixture between Murkrow and Hitmonlee. Or Hitmontop, sorry.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, like with the starting health values, that Bruno consistently, once he shows up from hard mode on, has like the most health. So you think it might be like all these later bosses, but again, it's kind of like if you're doing casually, like Bruno feels harder, but you might not know why. And then it's like, oh, because he has more health than the other guys. So
yeah, we're 2 minutes 13. We're 2:13 ahead now.
Excellent.
But now starts the difficult part.
So kind of in the as hard and intense, to my understanding from what I remember, what you want to do is you kind of, you want to like split up your chains so you're not a little bit, so you're not like sending maximum amount of power because you want to avoid the heals.
That's more in Intense than this difficulty.
Gotcha.
And as I say that, I get healed on.
By Pidgey. That's the worst.
Yeah, this is where the difficulty ramps up dramatically in this game.
Right, they will start healing a lot more often now. Intense is a lot more, but they will also heal slightly more often.
Well, in Intense, they can heal whenever they want. They have infinite heals on Intense.
Right.
And this is where we actually have to start sending more than one chain, because one chain won't deal enough damage.
Slag chain there.
Also start sending a crap ton more garbage. And at the end of this difficulty, you're gonna... This is when we're gonna start using garbage strats.
Sometimes you can get around it, but generally they'll send you garbage fast enough you don't have a choice and you have to play up the garbage.
That was overkill. I just noticed his HP and that was way too much damage.
Yeah, that's another layer of optimization I probably wouldn't notice unless I played this for several years. But yeah, like once you start get really in tune, you want to make sure you cut off your chains at a certain point to optimize how much damage you're sending versus what they might heal versus what actually is going to be sent. So, but
Right,
that's
and
that's hardcore expert level strategy. If you ever decide to play this game, like, you don't have to think about that right away. You just probably just want to send as much as you can to start.
Yeah. There's a block you probably should explain.
Metal block?
Yeah, go ahead, Lunar.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's an additional block that shows up once you get enough clears. It's exclamation point. Looks like a metal block. And the trash that you get from that was what Razor just had on his board, which is just different than the others. Looks like a metal bar instead. And it clears separately from all the other garbage. So it makes it more difficult to clear everything.
Yeah, because a little bit too with combo garbage versus chain garbage. So as you can see, like if the Ghastly in this case is sending a chain, you get like a bigger, thicker block, and the bottom row will clear, and the row above will turn into more garbage. Versus combo garbage, where it just instantly clears regardless of where the garbage actually is. And if you ever hear us talk about second tier or third tier strats, that's kind of what we're referring to, is this combo garbage is clearing, and then you or the computer can find a clear within that to be able to, the garbage on either side to start breaking down. But with a metal block, it's just everything below the metal garbage just stops until you clear the metal block, and then you can do everything above.
So just real quick, starting right now, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, and you guys can go ahead and take over.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So,
Nice 8.
yeah. Yeah, so 8 and 9 combos are really, really cool. It's pretty decently easy to get a 7, but when you get 8 and above for combos, it's really pretty, really satisfying, but also very effective as well. Do we have any donations or anything we can read, or do they not do that during the run? I'm not sure.
No, we definitely do that. We haven't had any donations come in yet, but yeah, good reminder. Definitely get your donations in then for the run.
Raising money for Able Gamers, a fantastic charity. Definitely worth your donation. So if you're liking the run, liking the commentary, liking the marathon, please feel free to support what we're doing here. So, you know, it's not just about coming and playing the game, which is, of course, fun in and of itself, but helping people out who need it is also very, very good. So, just a casual reminder. So. Yeah. So Primate's a jerk, and we got past that pretty well. So.
Yeah, like Razor said earlier, make sure to watch Primate on Intense. It starts attacking real fast.
And because you have less board space just because of the hardware of the Game Boy, you want to make sure you're getting your stack to the top as quickly as possible to kind of combat those quick garbage sends. It's
Right.
all about making sure you have enough blocks to be able to work with to be able to get all these chains and combos we're talking about.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. It gives you room to work instead of having to deal with the opponent's garbage being in your way.
Yeah. Because not only is that annoying, it just slows things down drastically. We speed running, so going slow is no fun. So like we were saying, there are 13 stages here in S Hard, and there are going to be 13 as well in Intense. So we've got a run and a half to go, but sounds like from what Razor was saying, we're keeping good pace so far, which is fantastic. You always want to feel, especially in a marathon setting, like you're playing your best and putting your best foot forward. Not only just for yourself, but also for, everybody watching. Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon / morning / evening, depending on where you are in the world. My host mode comes out at some point.
One more. Quick before she heals. There. Should be good. Oh, nope. Got the healing right before. That's what I was worried about.
Oh.
Hate to see that. Attack in flight.
Oh, there we go. That should be fine.
Heal.
That should be more than enough.
One more? Oh, no. Yep, he's good. The chain had to go through. So that's something we should mention. So combo garbage hits immediately. Chain garbage hits slightly after the last chain link. So there is a bit of timing to it.
Yeah, and sometimes in, like Tetris Attack, Puzzle League, where where you're seeing both boards happen at the same time, we call it board vision. So the ability to kind of look over and see where you need to cut your chain. And kind of the equivalent of that in this is looking over at the power bar and seeing when you need to, cut your chain, or if you need to make a couple more combos, and kind of managing that. And that seems easy in theory, but honestly, that kind of screen watching, board vision, and in this case, power meter vision, is a skill in and of itself that you really have to develop over time. So. The thing I like to bring up is, Razor is raising to the complete top of the screen, and when you run out of stop time, that can be a little dangerous. But the idea of having all your blocks to the top of the screen and knowing if you don't go quick enough, you can bomb out, I think to newer players can be a little bit intimidating. And it's but in this game, it's absolutely necessary for you to do that. But it just seems kind of scary because you're like, oh man, I could lose any minute if I don't see something fast enough, which is why it's very important as you're raising. Something I noticed Razor doing quite well is when he's doing the initial start at the beginning of the level, he's not just spamming the raise, usually L or R, I don't know what it is on the Game Boy, but he's not just spamming the ability to raise that stack. I think we'll see it here. He's kind of flattening the stack and kind of lagging out just a little bit so he's able to find something, right there, before he gets to the top of the screen. Just making sure, okay, I have my starting chain and I can work from there. And even if, you want to just go, one line from the top, especially if you're starting out. If you're starting out, start on the easier levels. Start in marathon mode, start on slower speeds. It's totally okay. You need to get the mechanics in. But if you're playing the versus mode, it always kind of helps to make sure you have some kind of start to your chain in order to execute it. And you can see more as it goes on, but if you at least have a little bit, kind of planned out ahead of time that you can execute. Because that's the other thing. Obviously, the skill level goes up as you get better, right? So, the skill level goes up as you get better, but as you're newer, you can even find, okay, this is going to fall into this, and I at least have a 3 chain. Okay, find it, then execute what you can do, and then you can build upon getting these bigger chains. And as you get better, you can see more and more of that kind of pattern of being able to execute. But I love it. It's so good.
Okay, so we're on the last couple stages on S Hard, and then we have Intense left. Intense is significantly harder.
Yeah, it's silly. Intense is pretty silly. I very much respect people who can effectively run Intense in this game, because it's... especially when you get to this stage where everybody just wants to heal as much as they want to heal, and you're just hitting your head against... you're just face palming. But then you realize you can't see the board, so you have to eternally face palm, so that way you can still watch what you're doing. Oh, gross.
Yes, not a nice board right
Ooh,
now.
yeah,
Ooh,
there
nice
we go.
control.
There's those second tier strats I was talking about earlier, kind of bailing Razor out a little bit there. Because the other thing is, as the modes get more difficult, you have less stop time to work with, so you have to kind of work quicker. And sometimes you just need to go to second tier and just accept that that's your only way to give yourself more time to find something with the bigger section of blocks you have. So that was a good strategy by Razor to just kind of go, okay, I'm going to use second tier, give myself a little more time to figure out what I'm doing. Dragonite is so cute. These drawings are very adorable. I mean, it's annoying because it's like the last stage, but it's really cute.
Yeah, I like the art in this game. It's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of the music too, and the sound effects can get a little draining at times, especially if the battle's going longer. But a lot of the music in these types of games are just straight bangers. It makes it a little easier to deal with. So.
Okay. And
Yay! Excellent.
So, as Nicole kind of mentioned earlier, Intense changes it up a little because there's no way you can kill them in one attack. So what we aim to do is knock their health bar down to about half, so that way they don't heal. And then we attack them again and try and get them down in one more hit, so that way we avoid the healing entirely. It's optimally that's what we want to do, but that rarely happens.
Yeah. It's very difficult to do consistently. Because sometimes you can, and then sometimes you can't, and then... And that's where it's even more important to be able to not only plan out your chains, but also do some things on the fly. And I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Lunar, but I think in this game, like, that's why kind of like frame perfect switches are even more important to try. Like, they're always cool and they're swag, but like they're actually very, very useful to do, kind of like that, just to try to extend your chain.
You moved it the wrong way. He needed to move the star the other way so he could make his 3. That's why he reset. He was out of moves entirely there. But yeah.
Real quick. 0 HP glitch. You should probably talk about.
Sure.
Did it happen? Did I miss it? Or are you just saying?
Just saying.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get there. What was I gonna say? Nicole mentioned the frame perfect swaps and things like that. Yeah, that's bigger in this one because you need to be able to extend your chains longer, and those are the tricks to do it. And the thing that Razor brought up was there's a glitch in this game where occasionally you will take all your opponent's health, but the bar will empty and it won't end the round. And you have to wait until they heal. And then once they heal, you can attack them again and finish, but it wastes a bunch of time because you have to wait for that. I've had it happen enough times to be annoying.
like, yeah, at some point, like in Intense, this type of thing just happens. But the cool thing in this game is there's always, typically in these panel to pond games, there's a practice mode to do like marathon, so you can kind of experiment with whatever you want. But in this game, there's actually a practice mode to try to get used to clearing the garbage, which I actually didn't know about it until I saw Razor warming up on it. And that's kind of cool because in these later levels, then you get good at recognizing. Because, so when garbage clears, right, it only gives you panels on the bottom layer. Unless there's second tier, like we talked about. And so, what you don't want to do is sometimes you're like, oh, I see this match and this match and this match. But you don't want to run out of blocks. It's in a strategy of itself to make sure that not only are you clearing stuff off, clearing panels off the garbage, but you're not leaving yourself short when you get down to these, 2-3 line scenarios. Because then it's like, oh, I can chain up this and chain up this. Oh, man. And then you're down to nothing. It's like, oh, I got excited.
Clearing all your blocks is the worst feeling when you didn't realize you did it.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, oh, no. Because it's one of those things that's in your control to make sure it doesn't happen. But then, that just comes with practice as well. So there's lots of different... It's cool, too, because there's lots of different tools you can use in these games. And they do kind of, depending on which kind of match 3 panel to pond game you play, they can really carry over between game to game. What you learn in one game can carry over, and then you just need to adjust to the little minutia of the next game. So if you can kind of master, or at least kind of grasp the skills of one of these games, it's a lot easier to transition to a different panel to pond game. Oh, come on. Oh,
Yeah.
this is where it gets scary.
7. Yeah.
Because the garbage clear delays everything, so...
It doesn't entirely in this game.
Oh, really? Do explain, because we're doing commentary.
Right. So combos will actually go through regardless. I think the chain has to wait until the garbage finishes, though, because
Oh,
the
there we
chain
go.
won't
Perfect
finish
example.
until then.
Yeah.
But I know the combo garbage is still instant, and it ignores that clear time.
Yeah. Once again, that's where the awareness comes in. Of being able to look over and be like, oh, I just need a couple of combos. Okay, this garbage is clearing. Okay, so we just need a combo to get rid of this. So.
Right.
Oh, do the 8. Do the 8.
Oh, I was just looking at it too. I was like,
No!
You didn't see
I
it,
know
though.
you needed to not do the 8 for efficiency.
I mean, I would have done the 8 there anyway, because actually, it probably would have been... Yeah, no, it would have been fine, because he's still well above half.
Yeah. Yeah. But then sometimes it's interesting when you watch your runs back, because it's like you look and you're like, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that? Oh my god, it's so easy to see when I'm not actually paying attention to 10 gazillion other things that I need to pay attention to.
Right, it's always easier when you're not playing the game.
Yeah, true.
Nice kill.
Yeah, and these stages are going to get longer time-wise, and that's okay.
I was gonna
Because...
say, continue.
No, like, well, I guess compared to, like, easy and normal or whatever,
Right.
You want to see the flashy, like, 15, 20 seconds, but because you can't defeat these opponents in one chain, like, the time standard gets a little different. And it's not necessarily bad if some of these... I mean, from like a speedrun grinding perspective, it kind of is. But like from a, oh, we're doing this for a marathon perspective, you know, like if you have a stage that's a minute, you know, not the end of the world, it's better than going 2-3 minutes. So.
Right. Yeah, so you got it once there and then tried it again, where you can frame perfect swap a block in to continue a chain on something that doesn't look like it should be a chain. So that's always a nice trick.
Yeah. And even if you can't necessarily get it, it's certainly worth trying, so. There we go. Oh, Ghastly, why you be like that?
Just say, yeah.
Yeah, and intense mode is kind of when you do these kind of like kind of multi-category categories, that makes sense. Like usually the estimate is determined by what you think you can do in the hardest category, and that kind of RNG. Because you can get through the early ones easier, but once you get to, like, intense mode, it's like, well, realistically.
This is the loop you don't want to see, where you're trying to get that last little bit, and you don't send enough. And they keep healing right as you send it.
Oh, come on. Oh, find the 5, find the 5.
Yeah, just send that 5.
There we go.
Don't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes, and I think too, maybe for newer players, having all that garbage can be a little scary, but sometimes you just need to ignore it and just go, all right, I'm going to go ham on what I have and then pay attention to it later. But it's spooky because you know the garbage is just chilling there and it's affecting your gameplay in a way, but sometimes it's a lot smarter to just ignore the garbage to be able to execute what you need to do. So, but for a long, I only can speak for myself. I know for a long time, ignoring the garbage was a very scary concept. It's like, no, I've got to clear it right away. It's like,
so much slower.
nah, dude, you're fine. Yeah, it is. It's slower, and that's just just awareness of the situation. Yeah, if you can kind of
Ran out
not
of time.
enough stop time there. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it definitely happens in intense mode. So, and that's why we're talking about being able to build up the stop time. And so when you have the garbage, there's sometimes less ability to make those combos and chains quickly to extend it. And then if you just kind of miss out, then happens. There we go. Oh, nice 10 combo. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like if he makes this a 5 and then sends it, it's probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. That's the one that I've been trying to pick up on intense, is learning about how much health is left in the bar based on how big the bar is. Because let's see, we're on Primeape, who, as I mentioned, starts attacking immediately, pretty much. He's going. But let's see, Primeape has 5,376 health. And so you're trying to figure out how much of that bar is how much health.
Right, and just another nuance thing is that if you're in the middle, I'm pretty sure it's like this in this game too, but if you're in the middle of making like a chain, the garbage doesn't drop until you stop the chain. Right, that still works in this game, right?
It's mostly that. It's got a weird thing where sometimes it'll drop. It's just like the other games where there's like weird timings where it will, but usually it won't.
Gotcha. So yeah, if you keep, for the most part, if you keep that chain extended as you see any of these opponents, you know, chaining up, then you know God, I love these games so much.
That was close on time there.
I love these games so much because there's so much planning that goes into it. There's so many things you have to think about ahead of time, and like the better you get, the more you can think about it, but then the more strategies you need to think about, and it's like this never-ending loop unless you're like world record tier of like trying to optimize.
I mean, even then, I've watched some of the top runners play this, and they're still trying to optimize things, so...
Oh, absolutely. Because you get those little... And that's games with RNG in a nutshell, right? You kind of... you can do all the planning you need to, and sometimes the game's just like, nope, not happening today, bro, so...
Yeah. That about sums it up. Okay, we're at our halfway point. Stage 7. Oh yeah, Nate's set up there too. I don't know if he likes to start with combos or not. It's from what I gathered, Razor likes to just do straight chains and keep track of it that way instead of including some combos in it into his
right.
game.
Yeah. I just play too much Puzzle League, and I'm just so used to starting with a combo.
Right, Tetris Attack is the same way, and that's the game that I'm most familiar with. If you're not including combos, it's just going to be slower.
Right. And that has a lot to do with being able to have two boards on the screen at the same time. And that's not relevant for this run, but it's certainly a style thing to be able to... if you play the other games to do this one, it's a style and a control thing to be able to not start with a combo and be able to kind of mentally start calculating your damage values, knowing you can add in the combos later. So... you know, there's an...
Would be good? Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say there's an optimal way to play, but you can feel like it's kind of like bowling, where there's like an optimal way where you hit like the pocket of whichever one, but just because there's an optimal way to get a strike doesn't mean you're always going to get a strike. You could do something completely different and just end up lucking into it. I feel like with these kinds of games,
the only way.
Yeah, there's an optimal way, but it's not the only way. So, and even where you like another nuance of where in this game I think it's a little bit more clear cut, which is why Razor said it's a little bit more consistent. Because you're even starting your chains on the board, are you starting it toward the top, are you starting it toward the middle, are you starting it toward the bottom? Like, even that can completely determine, like, how long your chain is, how many blocks you're working with, do you end it quicker or slower, like, even those tiny little things can affect an entire round, too, so... It's so crazy how much stuff there is to think about. I know I've said that a couple of times, I tend to repeat myself, but it's still pretty silly.
Oh, he's like one combo short. Just let it go.
Yeah, let it go, let it go. Yo,
Okay,
okay.
made it in time. I was afraid Dragonair was gonna heal.
Yeah,
He was attacking though, so I was hoping not, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, as mentioned earlier, this is the most annoying sound. Jinx is definitely something.
We're sorry. Just because keys are on can do it doesn't mean it comes out well in Game Boy sound audio. Shoutouts to Keys. Man, I can imagine getting stuck on this stage and getting so tilted. Just being like, stop. Stop.
Oh, we have 7 and 8, so that's gonna knock him down to like, yeah, I was gonna say like a third of his health left. So he's gonna heal probably before this goes through. Yeah, it's looking like setting up for a heal now. Oh no, there's an attack. Okay. That might work out
It's in it.
favor.
Oh,
It's a
no
little bit
combo
more.
ops though.
Might be good if he just sends this 3.
There we go.
Okay, that 4 combo is what he needed.
Yeah, finding the 6 off the garbage helped too a little bit, so.
Okay, we're on to Crobat. So we're on stage 10, so that's what, 4 stages left to go? 10, 11, 12, 13?
8, 9, 10. Yes! Yes, we are in the final 4. Literally and figuratively. Is there
So
a
if I remember
fancy
right-
Final 4 name for this game? Because I know it's like...
It's the Elite 4.
Yeah, so it's the Elite
generic.
4.
This
there's
is
like-
based on Toto, so...
Yeah. So
I'm trying to remember, so... I think Crobat tends to prefer combos. He does small chains, but I think his garbage is mostly combos. Which always makes it interesting. I say that
Oh,
now.
he's going off. He's going
pointing
off.
big.
Yeah, when you start to become more skilled, big chains are really, really satisfying to do. Yeah, we can't really get down to combo levels quite yet.
No, if he extends this out a little bit more, I think it should be good. I would actually send it here and reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I need
4
one more
diamonds.
anything. There.
What?
Okay, the
There
9
we
will
go.
do it.
Okay. Ah,
The 4 was not enough. You need a little bit more.
yeah.
Like I said, the health bar starts to get hard to read because the health is so high that
Right. Right.
that sliver on a low level is like 50 health, but that sliver on this level is a couple hundred.
And if you're just tuning in, this Bruno in intense mode has the most health of any opponent in the game. So
Right.
by quite a bit. So
He doesn't heal as much as Murkrow does, and Murkrow has only slightly less health than him.
right.
So Murkrow actually feels worse still.
But
And actually,
I've
Murkrow-
noticed.
Hmm.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Murkrow actually feels worse than Dragonite in most cases because it heals so much.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Like, when I played this game before and raced it, because I don't play it as, I mean, I know the mechanics, but I don't play this particular game as often. But when I play it, I get through the end, and then Dragonite somehow feels like a little bit easier. It's like, oh, that somehow didn't feel as bad as like all these other people before. Like the Murkrows and, you know, like the Hitmontops. I get to Dragonite, I'm like, oh, okay. I feel confident playing this game. It's still hard, but it's... Huh? Alright. This is spooky, but not super spooky.
You probably... Nope, it's attacking again. Okay, so he's not going to heal yet. Watch for it. This might be the heal. Because he's not attacking. Oh, yeah, there's the heal followed by before. So that's what I was talking about. If you watch for pauses in their attacks, that's when they're going to heal.
Yeah, I mean, if you practice in garbage mode, that's probably, even if there's not like a direct power bar there, like if you wanted to practice like setting up garbage and looking over and setting up garbage and looking over, you know, just as like a... Because anytime you move your eyes away from your board, you're moving your eyes back and it needs to readjust somehow. So... like, just getting that practice of looking at something else or, like, you know, having the power bar to the corner of your eye is, like I said, a skill that you can build up over time. All right.
Okay, so we have Murkrow just above where we want him for the first attack. Which is fine, because if you accidentally send, or if you send some more combos, then it doesn't lower him too much. You're still safe. Right. Now we're in healing range.
Right, right.
Can you get a fast attack off that is enough?
That should be good. Oh no!
That was
right so
close.
That was so close.
In chat, since this is Karen, they asked if this is the Pokemon that asks to speak to the trainer. Just Karen joke.
Nice. That's good. 10 out of 10 joke. I like that.
Murkrow's healing like crazy, and we're back up near half health. Perfect. Like I said earlier, Murkrow does what it wants, and it will ruin your day.
Literally heal there in the middle of Razor dropping that 8 chain?
Yep, they will heal whenever they want. And it is the worst. If you send your garbage and you know it will kill them, and then they heal.
Hashtag jerkbird.
And we are above half health now, so it won't heal for a little bit, but
okay.
Once this gets sent...
Oh!
16?
Nice!
Oh no!
There's the
Oh
little
no!
bells.
One's hurt. Oh no! Just send the 2. Oh no!
No, I think the 3 was safe there.
3 is safe, but it fell
The
in.
3
I
is
was
safe,
hoping
but the
that it
3 is
wasn't
super
this time.
scary. Oh, all right.
Okay, and last
Last-
fight is Dragonite. So time on this will be
Switch.
when his health bar disappears completely.
All right, good start. A little light, but we should be good. Or at least giving ourselves a chance. Bro!
Metal blocks in the way again. Right now, I think an 8 is able to kill him. But he was just short. An 8 might not have done it. Might need to be a 9. Looking at the health that's left from a 7. And there's a heal. But as I mentioned earlier, he doesn't heal as much as Murkrow, so it's not as bad. He will still heal a bunch.
Oh.
So 5. Just short, though.
Oh.
Bought that one in for that frame perfect chain continuation.
Like that. I'll let the second tier clear and be safe. There's nothing up there now, but at
Dragonite
least.
healed again, though, so it's back up front, half health.
Oh.
It's the problem with being low on blocks. You gotta find your moves.
And like we were saying earlier, it's not only about finding your moves, but it's also about making sure you don't run out of moves at the same time. So.
Right.
Oh, this is where it gets frustrating.
All that talk we did about this stage is easier than Karen, and here we are.
I know, right? Oh, announcer's curse, commentator's curse. I'm so sorry.
But like I mentioned earlier, sometimes you just get in this loop where they heal and then you attack and you think you're gonna kill them, then they heal again.
RNG!
I think that's where we're at right now. Which
Okay.
nobody wants to see. There it is, time.
Time.
So what do we come out to?
That was a roller coaster. So, at the beginning of Intense, I went from 45 seconds up to 9 seconds down to 2:38 up. and then the last two stages sucked away another 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an overall good run.
What was the time?
108.45 on my splits. It might be different on their end.
That's still really solid, though. It's a very nice run for a marathon setting.
Oh, what was the time on the timer you guys have?
We had 108.46, so we may have been a
Yep.
second late splitting, so that sounds just about right.
So I just wanted to thank Lunar and Nicole for commentating. The reason why I muted myself is because starting in the middle of super hard, it becomes nearly impossible for me to commentate by myself, and I would prefer to focus so that I can actually perform well. Because this especially intense is. I've solo commentated intense before, but when I've done that, I've had to just stop commentating for minutes at a time. But if anyone's interested in picking up this game, speedrun.com, you can look up Pokemon Puzzle Challenge on there, or you can follow any one of us on Twitch. All three of us speedrun a number of Puzzle League games. And like it was said, the skills used in between are able to be used elsewhere. Anyways, I got a jet, so I'll see you guys soon.
Or you can join our Discord, the League of Puzzle Speedrunners, as well. So we have this game and Puzzle League and lots of different games like this. So if you want to tap into that community, feel free to as well.
Sounds great. Well, thanks so much for that amazing run. Yeah, we'll be continuing on very shortly with the next run. So thanks for commentators and Razor for a really great run.